Hi guys, let's talk about my Chevening Year. Before you continue to watch, please take a moment to hit subscribe below if you haven't already, and make sure you click that notification bell to get notified once I release a new video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. My name is Carrie Ann Harriott and I am a 2020 Chevening Scholar recipient from Jamaica, and I am in the UK now. Just completed my second semester, so I am currently working on my dissertation, and I want to talk about my Chevening Year so far. I mean, it's almost finished. I can't believe it, so let's talk about that. Alright guys, so in terms of my overall Chevening Year, I can't believe it's been 9 months now since I've been here. I have 3 months left. I can't believe it. I don't know where the time went. That's kind of crazy just to think how quickly it all went by. In terms of being here though during COVID, I must say, well, first of all, even before I get to that, guys, so one thing that happened to me, guys, which I am hoping does not happen to you. I arrived in the UK September 19th. Now, one of the first things that we have to do once we arrive to the UK is that we have to get our biometric residence permit. Let me show you. Can't give away a lot of information. I don't know how much of this I can actually show you. So this is my residence permit. I have to cover a little bit of my name. So it actually just tells you that residence permit, name, and it tells you how long it's valid for. It tells you that it's tier 4, and it tells you how much time you're allowed to work for per week. All right, so to get that card, guys, oh my god, it was quite a task. All right, so as I mentioned, I arrived in the UK in September 19th. I went through my quarantine and I opted to collect my BRP at my university, because you can either collect it from the nearest post office or the university. So I did so for the university. When I went to collect it, they looked at my visa, they looked at my ticket, and they told me that my visa was invalid. So essentially, they were telling me that I entered the UK illegally. Yeah. So be mindful of that, guys. What had happened was, when I did my visa application, I had submitted a potential departure date. So when they did the actual like stamp in the passport, it had the date that I requested to leave the UK, to leave my home country. However, when I booked my flight, I had requested to leave 2 days before that date. So my visa was actually supposed to be valid from September 21, right? So because I had entered the UK 2 days before, that would have made my visa invalid. So it was kind of crazy to think that I missed it, first of all, when I got my visa. And then the next set of persons who would have missed it would have been the travel agents booking the flight. And then the next set of persons who would have missed it would have been attendants at the airport in Jamaica. And then the next set of persons who would have missed it would have been the immigration officers in the UK. So yeah, I went through all of that and nobody saw it until I went to collect my BRP. Imagine. But anyhow, it was quite a bit of back and forth, because the university was actually telling me that I had to leave the UK and re-enter during the validity period of the stamp in my passport, which would have been 3 months. So it would have meant that I would have had to leave the UK and come back in order to validate my visa. No, this was like October, November. And being from Jamaica, I pretty much need a visa to go everywhere, and everywhere was closed to the UK. So I did not know what to do. But anyhow, I got in touch with my program officer, and I kid you not, guys, it took 2 months before the issue got resolved. And what happened was that I was granted like a, well, I wouldn't say special permission, because they actually contacted someone from the immigrations department, and the consensus was that I entered the UK under special circumstances, so my visa would be valid. So it was after that I got my biometric residence permit. And then I would have been finally able to open a bank account. So I actually didn't get a bank account until January. Like, doing a master's overall, it is not easy. So especially if you're like striving for excellence, striving for the best, and not just hoping that you'll pass. Yeah, it is hard work. Like, even like as a native English speaker, it is extremely difficult for me. So I can imagine, well, I can only imagine how much more difficult it would be for persons whose second language is English. I can't believe it. It's pretty difficult. It might be different for certain courses. It might be even more stressful for other courses, but regardless of what masters you're doing, it's going to be hard work, guys. Oh my god, nobody warned me. Well, you know what, I was warned, but I just really didn't imagine how hard it would have been. All right, so let's talk about my COVID year here. I have basically spent almost half of my year so far in complete lockdown. So yeah, I spent roughly 6 months in lockdown already, because I wasn't in lockdown per se, although there were restrictions when I got to the UK in September. That was late September. Well, first of all, I had to quarantine, so I pretty much came out of the house in October, and then by November we went through like the first lockdown for like about 6 weeks or so, right? About 6 weeks. And but during this time though, I was still actually going into classes, but nowhere else was open. So universities remained open at that time. But then once it got to December now, actually there was like a complete lockdown after that. Like, everything was locked down, including universities, including schools. Yeah, so in that December period as well, it would have meant that I would have been here in my flat for Christmas instead of spending time with my relatives who are in the UK, because that was the plan. But then because of the restrictions, I had to spend Christmas alone here. So I spent from basically December to, I believe it was March, in like complete lockdown. But I do have a flatmate here who's also another Chevener from Jamaica, so thankfully we had each other. I know that a lot of persons did not, a lot of other Cheveners, even in my cohort from Jamaica and elsewhere, they did not have the luxury of having a flatmate, of having company during a time like that. So it was pretty challenging, I have to say, in terms of your mental health and well-being. For me, as I mentioned, because I already had some company, and I mean, I guess I'm a person, I'm pretty good in isolation in general. So but having that company, it really helped. But as I mentioned, and also because we were so busy with coursework, I believe that also helped to kind of take our minds off the isolation a bit. So from that aspect, being engaged in online learning, being engaged in coursework, that really helped as well. I mean, like other persons who I spoke to who had their full UK experience, you know, they would have said, you know, they would have had to find that balance between doing schoolwork as well as having a social life. But it was pretty much just doing coursework for like the better part of the year. Doing coursework, going to classes, that was pretty much what we were doing. But once the restrictions lifted, or they have started to lift, they are lifting now. So we are actually going out a little bit more. So we are starting to have a bit of a social life, which is great. Things are starting to open. I think that now we're really beginning to get the chance to network a little bit more. And I have to say, networking is another thing that was definitely affected by the whole COVID situation. I am grateful that I got the chance to meet other Cheveners here in Southampton, as well as in Portsmouth, because, well, first of all, we did like a virtual meetup with our program officer. So we all got together on a WhatsApp group, and before like the first lockdown, actually, we got the chance to meet up with each other, you know, to go out to dinner, do some bowling, some fun activities, just as Cheveners. Now that lockdown has lifted a little bit, we have gotten together again. We actually all took a trip to Stonehenge, so that was pretty amazing. Another Chevener from Ghana actually did a video about it. I will find out if I can share it, and I will put the link in the description box below. So it was a pretty amazing day. So we went to Stonehenge and we went to Brighton. So that was pretty good. And in Brighton, we actually got to meet other Cheveners who were at the University of Sussex. As a group, we're hoping to do a little bit more traveling, particularly around the UK. It might be a little bit more difficult to do some traveling around Europe, because there's still quite a bit of restrictions in terms of where we're allowed to travel, where we're not allowed to travel, as well as whether or not we need to quarantine there or back in the UK. So yeah, it's just a lot of confusion right now. But I have to say that overall, though, I have been really grateful for the experience. As much as I technically did not get like the full UK experience, it has been really impactful. So it's definitely something that I will remember for the rest of my life. But I can't wait to go back home. I have to say, I really can't wait. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this is going to be you soon, right? So I will see you in a next, more than likely a tutorial. I'm not sure like how many other chevening videos I will do. If you have any more that you're thinking about that you would like me to do, you could actually put it, you know, in the comment section below. So let me know. All right guys, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.